One interesting fact we definitely would like to know about career. When it comes to career in companies like ANSYS or in technical writing, so does it work like that, or you may have ample amount of opportunities which you can grab and then move up very fast into the success ladder? Being a woman, do you find any different kind of challenges in comparison with a male other subordinate or a boss or a colleague? Namaste and welcome to this podcast of MIT Academy of Engineering, Alandi, Pune. We all know that knowledge and skills predominantly decide the career. More predominantly, we will say skills. And it is also said that if you have skills in any area, then there is one exciting career opportunity which is in existence on this world. What if an engineer has a passion of writing? Let us explore in today's podcast what kind of fantastic career that engineer can make. Let us welcome in today's podcast Miss Poonam Yadav. Poonam ji, namaste and welcome to this podcast.
Namaste, sir, and thank you very much for inviting me. It's an honor to be here. When I first read about this opportunity, I immediately reached out, and I never miss an opportunity to represent my company, my college, and my career.
Thank you. And Poonam, you are right now working as R&D Documentation Specialist with a renowned company like ANSYS. So for us, R&D is one word, documentation is other, and a specialist is a third word. How do we amalgamate all these things and make this career as R&D Documentation Specialist? What exactly is this?
Yeah, it's a very interesting position. The commonly known term for this is technical writing. So, technical writing is a field where you write for software products, hardware products. You create documentation, create technical books for these products. So, when you are trying to sell a product, you sell some training documents, some user guide, some reference manual, or some videos along with the product so that users could understand that product and make the optimal use of that product. So these documents are written by some experts called technical writer, and these experts are really expert in documentation, the language English, and the technology that they write about.
Great. So it is something like a combination of technology at the same time the flair of writing.
Yes.
And then we'll end up something which is more creative, more meaningful, and easy for any person to read, understand, and then use it, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, that's correct.
But then understanding this as a career, we definitely would like to understand how you have moved your career right from technology to technical writing, because you have done your graduation from MIT Academy of Engineering in 2015 in electronics and telecommunication.
Yes.
So right from that up to this,
Yeah.
how the journey has been done.
Yeah, the journey is full of ups and downs. I can start with college. So I did my 4 years of electronics and communication engineering from MIT Academy of Engineering. Straight out of college in 2015, it was a tough time. I was not able to find a job in the core field. I was going up to mechanical companies, electronics companies, and I had no idea like where to find the core electronics job. There were fields like embedded systems, FPGAs, RTLs, but where do I find this job for an entry level position? It was very difficult. And then I was finding these jobs. I was taking aptitude test, and I was landing jobs in the IT, software, business development, all these fields, and I was not really fond of those fields. So it was a very confusing time in 2015. For 1.5 year, I was completely lost as a fresher student. At one point, I really gave up on engineering. I found this opportunity as a content writer for a technology magazine company, and I immediately went to my passion, which was in writing. So I have been very fond of reading books, reading about technology, reading any fiction, non-fiction book, and I have been very fond of writing as well. I wrote blogs, articles. I wrote other people's assignments at my college also.
During the
So,
college days.
yeah. So I was very fond of writing, and when this opportunity for writing for a technology magazine company came by, I was very excited about it. Like, I will be writing in for a magazine. It would be glamorous. Then when I took up this opportunity in 2017, and then I started off as a content writer. In this field, I was writing news articles about technology. I was writing blogs on new and upcoming IoT, 4G, 5G, big data, blockchain, everything. And then I was interviewing people as well. I was interviewing VPs, SVPs, CEOs, CFOs, and writing about their profiles, their companies, and their industries. So when I was doing this reading and writing stuff, and I was doing it very passionately, and it was growing my understanding of how the tech industry works as well. And plus, it was building my skills while talking to people, interviewing people, and comprehending all this big journey into two pages of magazine feature. So this learning was a learning curve that I started with content writing was a really good opportunity, and I had really forgotten about all my electronics thing. I've left it back. Then from content writing, I grew in that company to become a managing editor, and later led a sister company of them. So this technology magazine company also had a education magazine company, and I led the team at the education sector. And I wrote for Princeton University, Michigan Technology University, a lot of big brands over there as well. It again boosted my confidence, and I was really happy doing that. But after like 1.5, 2 years, I was again confused, like, why am I not using my academics knowledge? I really used to love power electronics, signal processing, all these subjects when I was studying E&TC. So what do I do with that knowledge? What do I do with my degree? And then this, while hunting for jobs in the core, I found this title called technical writer at a company called Mentor Graphics. So Mentor Graphics is an electronic design automation company, and I prepped myself. There was a lot of preparation that went into it, because not having a formal education in the technical writing field was kind of a dent in my profile that I needed to fill. And then I went to YouTube. I learned about the tools that technical writer use. I prepped myself for the interview, and I gave an excellent interview. I'm very happy that that company took a chance on me and welcomed me into their team. In about a year or so, I was given really big responsibilities at that company. They were launching a new product. I got to work from scratch. So, from this technology content writer, I went into this really core field of EDA technical writer, being an EDA technical writer. There, I needed to understand how semiconductor tools, simulation tools work. How do I write about it in a way that all our users could understand? How do I deliver this product in an effective way? So while doing so, it really strengthened my knowledge, and I was very happy doing what I loved all through engineering. So writing about electronics.
Fantastic. But during those days when you were preparing a lot and you before entering into metagraphics, was there any night in your life where you woke up from a dream and was saying that, okay, I'm going to become a technical writer with a company like ANSYS? Did it happen? Something like that?
Yeah, I had no idea that I would end up here, and I would end up at a company like ANSYS, which is a renowned name in every college, every industry. And plus, within ANSYS also, when you hear about ANSYS, you immediately think ANSYS fluids, ANSYS mechanical, and all those softwares
Majority
that we do,
mechanical.
majority mechanical. But I work in an ANSYS team that caters to the semiconductor business unit, and I work on a product within the semiconductor business unit, which mainly does RTL power analysis. So it is a very niche field. It is a field that I've loved all through long. And when I do it, and when I do it with a brand name called ANSYS, it is really unbelievable to me.
Wow. And you were mentioning about EDA.
Yes.
So can you please elaborate more about EDA?
Sure. So electronic design automation is a niche industry, and you have been hearing everywhere that semiconductor is gonna boom. Semiconductor is a really growing field. So this niche industry called EDA, they really cater to in in today's world, today's ever changing world, everywhere we see electronics. Even all the things that we had mechanical workings for are now taking an electronic plus digital form. Electronic and embedded system plus a digital interface to communicate with the user. Everything from cars to phones, everything. So now when I think about my industry, I see an immense growth opportunity. And in this industry, my job is to basically create documentation for this tool that effectively helps chip designers. So semiconductor chip designers, they go through this religious process of chip design. There is a system architecture, specification, RTL design. There is a uh, pre-layout simulation, functional simulation, functional verification, post-layout simulation. There is again before fabrication we simulate, then pre-tape out validation and verification. So there is a lot of process that goes into creating this semiconductor chip or system on chips. So when uh, when I think about that, and when I think about this industry, it's a really big and really growing industry. And then how I found my place in it is through this technical writing field. It's kind of a back door into a high tech industry. But yeah, when I can mention one thing is like when I did my BTech from MIT, then I was like, should I do MTech? Should I take a PhD? Like I really wanted that doctor in front of my name. But when I'm doing this very impactful work within ANSYS, it does not uh, pinches me that I do not have that those degrees, because ultimately I'm doing the work that the team does, and I'm making an impact in the world that that person would have done if I had that degree also.
Of course. So making that impact and fulfilling the requirement of the industry, that is highly essential,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes.
Now, being into ANSYS and then doing the work of R&D documentation specialist, what kind of documentation is really required to be done?
So there are various tools that you master. So documentation is basically a job wherein you are trying to comprehend a lot of technical things and trying to deliver it in a language that is very easy to understand. And you require structure. You need collaboration skills. You need people skills to have all that information. So there will be a big team like 20, 30 people working on various features of that product, and there will be you or maybe one more person trying to make sense of all that technical things and trying to create a document that will help other people understand, or other teams understand, or users understand. And so I mainly work on five types of documents: quick start guide, reference manual, user manuals, some library development manuals, and release notes specifically. So you must see with all these software there is version 1, version 2. So with all these software you also find a document that in this version this is the new thing that is coming up. In this version we have fixed all these issues that these people were facing. So that is one important document that I work on, that's called release notes. And with that we have user manuals, reference manuals. So these kinds of document we ship with the product. So it is like one a marketer on its own. If you have a really good documentation for your product, then it speaks for your product, that yeah, this product is really nice. I can find all my all solutions to all my problems here. Yeah.
You're fitting into this job and doing it very happily. What are those skills, especially your skills, which are really helping you out? Might be technical skills, writing skills, or anything else.
Yeah, so writing is one of the skills, but there are a lot of technical skills that are involved. There is this coding language or coding structure that we use, that is called XML authoring. So XML is a extensible markup language. Other than XML, there are many markup languages such as HTML, Markdown. So depends on your business use case on what language you want to use. So that language you can pick and try. And there are many tools, industry tools, gold standard tools that technical authors use to create and maintain their documentation. So there is tools like Oxygen XML, framework, Data. There is tools from Adobe. So you can explore all these tools and try it out. What are tools? Tools are mainly, think of it like a game. There is a menu button, there's a file button, there's a new, create new, open existing, all these buttons. Play with those buttons and try it yourself. It's very like intuitive, and if you really try using it, you will find your way through it. So I mainly use Oxygen XML authoring environment. And then there are various things that support this documentation ka process, such as there is project management. When how do you know what to document for? So you must study in this ITSM processes in a syllabus, that there is a big process that goes through from ideation to execution, and within that, documentation is one part of it. So from ideation, when people are working on a feature, when people are debugging it, when people are running into issues, and when people are finding solutions to that issues, you are there observing everything. You are there making notes. You are there creating supportive documents. You are studying the functional specs. You are studying the R&D specs, and you are trying to make sense of everything, trying to deliver a clean content that will be easy to consume. So of course, Oxygen XML is one of those tools, but other project management tools such as Jira or ADO, Azure, and a lot of project management tools, plus versioning tools such as, so as I mentioned, we have products and we have their versions, version 1, version 2, version 3. Throughout the year we deliver many versions, so we want to maintain one main version, and when we want to create new versions, and we want to maintain the content in those versions. So there are versioning tools such as GitHub or Perforce that we use. So GitHub mastery and Oxygen environment mastery, and whichever field you end up. So for me, I ended up in this EDA field. So I need to understand the nuances of VLSI, RTL, and all these things. But if you end up with this technical writer role in a software field of like a computer software field, then you need to know if your software is associated with codes and examples and all that. At least you need to have an understanding of what that code is trying to tell you. So even in my case, we create documents and we create examples like test cases, so that the user can really understand how this feature works with that test case. So you need so my expertise comes in, my E&TC expertise, and the new developed expertise comes in when I need to create examples, when I need to test those examples, when I'm getting a piece of code from my engineers, I need to write about that code, what is really happening in this code. So that understanding is also necessary. Yeah.
Great. So you have to work on many technologies and then use effectively during your work. It's not only about documentation, it's also use of all
Yes.
technologies as
Yes.
such.
Yes, especially in a high tech industry. So, if you are writing about high tech, you need to first understand it firsthand. You are the first user of that product. And if you are clueless about the technology, your end user is going to be clueless about the technology. So you need to really understand what is happening and what are these new features and how they are effective in building this product, so that you could write about it more effectively. And then those test cases are there. You need to make sure that those test cases run, because in your document, if you have broken test cases, that it is not really a good picture on the technology. Oh, okay, I'm trying to run their own example and it is not running, so how will they solve my problem? So it is something that you need to understand to maintain that document. So it is basically the face of your product. Your document is the face of your product. So if your face needs to be clear and spotless, you need to have the proper understanding of that high tech industry.
One interesting fact we definitely would like to know about career. When it comes to career in companies like ANSYS or in technical writing, then people will believe that, okay, I will enter into a junior most, might be a technical writer or a specialist, and senior specialist, might be a team leader, manager, something like that. So does it work like that, or you may have ample amount of opportunities which you can grab and then move up very fast into the success ladder?
Yeah, this is a really interesting question, and I would like to speak in detail about it. So, when an engineer graduates and he's like looking for a job, he joins a company and gets a position of, let's say, executive or engineer or GTE or analyst. And then he thinks about the career of becoming a senior analyst, then a lead analyst, and then a principal or manager or something like that. So that is, of course, one track for your career, but there are multiple opportunities to find. Uh, in ANSYS itself, we have people leader track, we have individual contributor track, we have technology specialist track, we have the sales track, the support or customer engagement track. So when I talk about these tracks, this is very intuitive in their names, but if we think of a person who is very research intuitive, but from childhood itself he wanted to be a scientist, he did all these experiments in their homes and wrecked their homes as well, and he took up engineering and thought about a personality similar to Rancho's. Okay, he's opening all fridges and all that. So a person like that who is very into being a scientist, who's very into R&D, and he ends up in a company like ANSYS, let's say, and he is doing his job, uh, making the products better, catering to the industry, and optimizing solution, finding solutions to users' problem. When he's doing this job, and you ask him to, let's say, okay, now you have done enough, become a manager and start supervising these 10 people. So at that point, that person would not want to, maybe he would not want to kill his passion. He wants to keep innovating, he wants to patents and he wants to file research papers, and he wants to be at conferences speaking about his work. So maybe this person wants to be the scientisty guy and not a manager. So again, that is an interesting track that you might look forward to. And at ANSYS itself, we have that track wherein a person is working on their innovative solutions and then making our products as well, creating new patents for themselves. So we have those tracks at ANSYS, and I can say like ANSYS is more than 6,500 people, and we have about 24 people who are now titled ANSYS Fellow. When you are given this honor of being called an ANSYS fellow, it is basically the highest honor you can achieve at ANSYS. So you can think about that person as a very deeply expert in his or her field. Yeah.
And you were mentioning about individual contributors track.
Yeah.
So what is that?
Yeah, this is a similar thing. So when you do not want to work in a people management or role that involves a lot of, taking care of people and supervising people, taking care of others work. So you would like, if you would like to be an individual contributor, for example, my job is of an individual contributor, because I take care of of the documentation of a product that exists for about 15 years now, and there are 20 to 25 R&D specialists and some sales specialists that work on that product, and I'm the only person that creates and maintains documentation for that product. So in my case, you could consider me as an individual contributor for this particular solution. So you can think, and again, at ANSYS or any other company, you will find opportunities to expand from an individual contributor. So when you start off at this one job and you start off in a cubicle at this one project, and you think like, okay, this is a very nice technology, but I would like to explore what is happening in that field. So I would like to learn about that, and I would like to see how they integrate or something, and I could come up with ideas about a completely new solution. So those opportunities does exist. It's just about like when you're doing your work, you speak about it, you speak volumes about your work, so other people know, okay, you're doing this amazing work, maybe I can benefit from your solution. So when you go to deploy the same solution in a different uh, team or a business unit, then you see your solutions grow, then you see yourself grow as a person, also as a contributor, as a collaborator, working with different teams and different tracks. So being an individual contributor, there is always opportunities to grow into program management, project management, product management. So yeah, it's not that the manager thing is cut off if you stay at this one track solution. Yeah.
So it really means that it's going beyond a cubicle, thinking beyond your work boundaries, and then contributing to the industry. And
Yes.
definitely, you are going to get the rewards of the same.
Yes, yes. Sometimes it so happens that it's a big company. There are many units. There is aerospace, mechanical, fluids, optics, power solutions, thermal solutions, all these solutions. But if one industry is innovating in a field and that field impacts all these industries, you need to speak about your work so that everybody knows, everybody benefits about it, and we can all make our solutions better. In a way, you can own that solution, of course, but yeah. So even though you are not a people person, and if you want to stay scientisty, but when you speak about your work, when you try to collaborate, and when you try to bring the same efficiency and optimization in different field as well, that's when your work really gets noted.
Great. So it means that there are opportunities which the person is required to grab,
Yes.
rather than somebody will force, okay, this is an opportunity, now grab it.
Yeah.
Other than that, okay, self intuition, self motivation
Yeah.
does make a bigger difference.
I can give you an example that I implemented. So we have this documents, user guide and reference manual, and I talked about how we try to include examples in our books. So these examples, some guy who is working on that feature is already creating examples to test that features, and you want to include that example in your books. So if this information is available in a structured way somewhere in some repository, why do I need to rewrite it? Why do I need to go copy, write one by one? Maybe there is a chance to automate this. Maybe there is a chance to pull that data, represent or visualize in my books and validate if it is running and if it is correct. So I found that opportunity and I implemented that in my workflow. And today, something that used to take me like a lot of work hours and a lot of dexterity to complete that, that is way automated, and I could generate that in within one day. A 500-page document you could generate through that automation process in one day, and you can validate it as well. So that is one solution that came up when I truly understood the structure of data, and when I truly understood the effect it brings to the users. So those kind of opportunities I'm talking about when I talk
Okay.
about finding and grabbing opportunities.
You grab those opportunities,
Yes.
you are a successful person in your field, and you also bagged a few awards also because of your own contribution.
Yeah.
So we definitely would like to know what kind of awards, recognitions you have received.
Yeah, so for this same project, I received an employee spotlight award from my team. You nominate, you compete against your team member, and then you get selected from the management panelist. And then I have won an award in Siemens, like Automate with Ford award for a similar project. Then there are continuous recognition that you achieve from the team. Other than that, I would like to talk about these opportunities that I get to represent my company at various events. I represented ANSYS as a guest of honor at Cummins Technology Festival. This is a tech festival that they conduct every year, and a lot of students from all over India participate. Come to Pune and they participate in various competitions. I got some opportunities to judge some of those competition. You see, you're sitting there between all these students that somebody that you were once were, and
You really feel proud.
yeah, I really feel really enlightened and very happy inside when I visit such events, because there are all these students running around you and treating you like a industry specialist and guest, and you used to do it once in your college. So
The role gets flipped over there.
yeah, the roles are flipped, the tables are turned, and you feel very happy doing that. And then when you try to talk to students, and when you try to counsel them, and when you tell them, and when you represent that there are opportunities in your core industry, you can get from non-technical to a technical field, you can find your place in a high-tech industry. When you give that hope, when you give that direction, it brings a certain fulfillment that I don't have words for.
And again, adding to that same thing, you have also worked as a pack leader.
Yes.
So we'd like to understand more about that also.
So APAC leader for a employee resource group it was. So at ANSYS we have certain employee resource groups. So these are groups that represent a certain community. Let's say there is women in technology community. It's a very large group within ANSYS. Then there is LGBTQ community, that is again a big group in ANSYS. Then there is Black Employee Network. So I was leading the APAC direction for this group called the Disability Network. I really believe in this group because there are a lot of things that people tend to look over when you are stuck in this communism and capitalistic environment. Then a lot of things you tend to look over. You tend to look over your physical health, you tend to look over your mental health. And so the disability group was formed within ANSYS with a vision to um, create a space that is inclusive for all. For all, we mean by physically disabled people, or somebody that lacks in some fields but very excels in other fields. So you must know about neurodivergence. So neurodivergence is a problem that I see is very prevalent these days. And people uh, people don't even know if they have certain attention things or certain behavioral things that might or affect the things they do the way they do. So for example, one person might take 30 days to complete one work but would be delivering a top notch thing, but one person might be like lacking off or maybe distracted the first 25 days, but then in the rest 5 days he will complete the work. And how is he able to do that? Because it is a certain chemistry with yourself. I wouldn't name it neurodivergence or something, or name it in a way that is looked at in a demeaning manner, but I can say that it is a chemistry with yourself. You do things in a certain way that can be useful at certain places. So you need to find your superpower. I would say it's a superpower. You have either hyper focused attention, or you have the multitasking skills. So we are a group of people that the disability network is a group of people that really cares about creating a space for all kinds of people to come together and talk about person with disabilities, creating a workspace to make it inclusive as possible. Even if you are a caregiver for a people who is permanent, for a person who is permanently disabled, if you are a full time caregiver and along with that you are managing your work, it takes a certain toll at your mental health, and it takes a certain toll at your personality as well. So we invite these people in our space, and we try to bring awareness about these issues that employees or their family members might be facing, so that we are more aware and we are more inclusive. We also try to find as many solutions and as many resources that we can. We give away free lectures, we arrange guest speaker sessions, we arrange community talks, we collaborate with NGOs and try to sponsor people. So there is this one NGO that if it is specially for person with disabilities, and they invite people with cerebral palsy and or people with disabilities, and they try to skill them in various formats, like somebody would like to learn advanced Excel or Power BI or AutoCAD or something there. So this NGO tries to bring skill to people, or maybe just knitting, or making sweaters, or making laltens, or making soaps. So this NGO tries to bring all these skills to those people, so that they can find a place in their world, they can find independence, and they can be financially stable through that NGO. So we also collaborate with such NGOs to support our cause. So, creating that team in APAC from zero to now, let's say 18 members, I guess, it was quite a journey. And yeah, we are growing and constantly improving in our efforts.
And doing these kind of things require a lot of time, energy, manpower, everything. So,
Yeah,
how does a company support to this kind of noble tasks in terms of finance or manpower or
yeah.
allocation of time or motivation?
You are right about that, but I think it's really passion driven, and really driven towards the word care. So a lot of our employees do care about everybody uh, interdependently, and do care about the causes that we are invested into. For example, women in technology. So we go to these conferences, tech fest, that are on Saturdays, Sundays, that might overlap with our personal plans. But we take that opportunity. We try to show up as much as possible. We try to represent ANSYS, the high tech solution. We try to make people understand and guide them how to find their place. So me and these group of people in my employee resource group, and a lot of people in HR and finance, and other business units, they come to us, they tell us like what is the next thing you are doing, and what is the next thing we can help with. So it is really driven by passion for care. And I'm really happy that we have so many like-minded people around us to be really pushing these efforts.
Good. So, it's always a team which is providing you a support and
Yes,
then collaboration, and then make sure that the things are turning up at practically.
yes.
During this entire journey of a career, right from your first job, second and third job, and then now working on a very crucial thing,
Mm-hmm.
one
Yeah.
very interesting thing which I would like to ask over here, that being a woman, you are
Mm-hmm.
talking about women, being a woman, do you find any different kind of challenges in comparison with a male other subordinate or a boss or a colleague?
Yeah, so today's companies, they try to be as inclusive as possible, but there are very subtle things that are happening around us. But we it is very normalized these days. So when I go to conferences, I find people coming up to me. Okay, for example, at this really recent conference hosted by Society of Women Engineers in Bangalore, I was there at the ANSYS booth, and I was interacting with so many women engineers, students, career professionals. And then there were so many women coming up to us and saying that, okay, I'm trying to return to work after a career break, and I'm not finding the right opportunity or right place. A lot of time has passed. About one and a half year of after one and a half year of career break, I'm finding it hard to adapt to these changes that has happened in the tech industry. And rightfully so, every minute things are changing. Every minute, especially in our industry, you might see that there are billions and billions of transistor on this 1 inch chip, or a 1 inch co-packaged chip. So when these industries are growing at this fast pace, and if even if you go for a 1 week break, you come back and see some new technology, or some new software has turned up, and you need to learn, and you need to adapt to that, and get going with your job. So how do you find uh, the state, or the confusion and the frustration of these women who are trying to return to work after one and a half years? It is really frustrating for them. And so where it is really difficult for especially women who are trying to return to work, and to find their place again in high tech industries. They try to get into, let's say, customer support, sales supports, or somewhere at least find a full time job, find their purpose again. And companies like ANSYS, Synopsys, Siemens, we run this return to work program, returnship program, so that we have special hiring track for such people who need to return to work after a career break. And we tend to customize our requirements accordingly. We tend to customize our requirement, and then after we have onboarded them, we make a rigorous training plan so that they can speed up to the processes and speed up to the technology today. So yeah, it is difficult on some level, but there are always solutions, I would say. And I'm not saying like 10 on 10 companies are very inclusive. There might be some companies that might feel you a little weird, that you might feel a little weird after returning to work, and you might feel like, okay, especially in my 40s, or when I'm 45 or 48-year-old in a company working at the same level that I was working 20 years ago, and I'm not growing anywhere. So why is that? Why is that happening? Am I not skilled enough? Am I not agile enough to get skilled? Because there are trainings available at the company. So finding those answers, it is really on an individual level. It is really on a, let's say, finding that answers is really in a place where you reach out to people who are already in good positions, and find mentors, help you find your place. So yeah, it is difficult, but there are always solutions.
And being a woman, then the multiple responsibilities are required to be handled. Let it be in the professional responsibilities, going up into the success of ladders, and then again coming back to home, taking care of husband, kids, in-laws, then be there in the society,
Yeah.
create your own brand. So many
Yeah.
things are there. So how do you balance your things, work-life balance, what we can say?
Yeah, this is a question that most women get, but I found myself very lucky to have a supportive family and a supportive husband who takes care of things, who drives me here to these events and different other events that I need to be. So you find yourself in situations, and like it's not a linear thing. Today I have support, tomorrow I might not, or tomorrow it might be tricky for me to deliver things on time. So it really is a non-linear thing, and a non-linear thought. Like, it is not always that you find yourself juggling. So it really comes again to your taking care of the mental health and balancing things at work and home. So that kind of balance, in my case, I would say, is I created around my schedule, especially the schedule of my product. So when is my product releasing? So there are certain release dates, and all processes are in place. So that is very good thing. When you're working in a big company, you have this really good privilege of having good processes that help you manage things, whether it's at work or at home. So you might find, like, in a startup or something, everything is very sudden, agile, or all that. Then if you are finding that, I would say you change it. You create a process, you create a process document, you create a timeline document, and make people follow that. If you're finding yourself somewhere where things are very sudden and when things are very unpredictable, then you need to maybe change that. That's why process management exists, that's why project management exists. So you create your timeline and schedule so that everybody could manage their personal and professional things in time. So I find myself very lucky in being in a big company where process management is a really emphasized, plus in a supportive family.
Nowadays, we know that semiconductor industries is going in boom.
Yes.
Especially in India, there are so many new plants are getting deployed in
Mhm.
semiconductor manufacturing. So, what kind of job opportunities you see for the fresh engineers?
There are immense job opportunities in this industry now. You might have heard from the tech news that Tata Electronics is, in collaboration with the government, is creating this huge manufacturing plants just outside of Gujarat. So two of these plants are already planned, and they are already sending hundreds and hundreds of their engineers to Taiwan to get professional training in this field, semiconductor field, simulation, fabrication, verification, validation, that things we talked about. So for students especially, I feel that they need to really look into their syllabus. They need to find what they're passionate about and find a company or an industry that they feel they fit in. So when I talk about semiconductor industry, we have the IC chip design, and there are various stages that it works in, and there are various companies that caters to software solutions, hardware implementation, and then foundry as well. So I can say the biggest three EDA companies that exist today are Synopsys, Cadence, and Siemens acquired Mentor Graphics. And then there is this ANSYS EDA that is working really well in this field, that is currently being acquired by ANSYS again, Synopsys again. So all these three companies, you look at them, you look what kind of solutions they provide. And as I mentioned before, there is EMIR, there is signal integrity, there is power integrity, thermal integrity, a lot to do when you are trying to design a chip with billions and billions of transistors on it. There is mechanical stress involved, there is 3D IC packaging involved because you want to make your devices shorter and smarter. So there is a lot to do in the semiconductor space, and there is a very rare talent in the semiconductor space. We are actually facing a global semiconductor talent shortage right now. When you see around you and you see these institutes coming up giving you training in VLSI, RTL, embedded systems, and all that, so that gives you an indication that okay, people, industries really need these experts. So at the college level, you can start reading those books that cater to that. You can start grooming yourself to become an embedded engineer. You can start grooming yourself to become a simulation designer or a simulation engineer, and then RTL designer, and then hardware designer, IP designer, SOC. There is IP packages, or really being expert in the IPs that these semiconductor companies used. You must explore all these titles. You must see, one way is to go to LinkedIn and find this title and read the job description. You read what kind of skills they require, and you see what is in your syllabus, and what you can acquire and what you can learn beforehand, before getting into the industry. Because there are a lot of skills there that you might not be aware of even in your third or fourth year of college. So try to acquire those skills, try to read as much as possible about this industry and what is happening in this industry. So I can say the future is semiconductor and optics right now. And during my time, it was very hard to find a job in core, but today it is not. And today it is really easy if you are from any background, let's say computers, mechanicals, electronics, and E&TC. Of course it directly correlates, but computers, mechanical engineering, IT, instrumentation, everybody can find a place here. Because semiconductors are not only about those registers and transistors. It is about packaging also. It is about testing the strength of the mechanical strength of the package that the chip is going in. So all this interdependability on other systems. So it is really a full-fledged industry and high-tech opportunity for students. So yeah, that is one way to explore opportunities in semiconductor.
So on one side, we have so many opportunities coming up in optics and semiconductors. The other side, people talk about artificial intelligence. So does it make a bigger impact on the existing jobs or upcoming jobs with so much of evolution of AI right now in industry?
Yeah. So AI is a really interesting field. I can say when you try to trace back when did this AI originate? What was this happening? When I was in college, we were working on thing called robotic process automation, RPA, through that Baha and Robocon and everything. So when we were working on RPA, that was technically AI. That was technically AI on a very small scale. We are trying to automate things for the robot. So AI is not really a new term, in my opinion. AI, we have been working to automate processes, make it more efficient for humans and softwares, make it for optimized for us and softwares. We have always been trying to do something or the other in that field. With the advent of AI, I think it is now the opportunities to do those things is limitless. Now you can do the same things on a bigger scale. uh, you can integrate AI into your processes, you can make your work go faster, you can make the delivery of your products go faster, you can make your systems more intelligent. I can make my documentation more intelligent. I can, let's say, I can integrate a chatbot which is very experienced, or very, let's say, he is a subject matter expert in my solution and my solution only, in my high tech industry only. So if I create such a chatbot with the help of AI, and he uses that RAG and LLM trainings, and he is able to answer questions from customers and designers and everybody. And if he is able to answer those uh, problems very effectively, based on documentation, FAQs, and legacy documents. So if that AI is able to understand everything and is able to deliver, then it really lessens my workload. It really makes my team more efficient. So the engineers who are constantly answering calls and trying to answer queries from the customers, and support engineers who's trying to go through millions of tickets and trying to reply to all customers, they can use their time more efficiently. They can use their time in a different way. So the AI in the job space is a really uh, good intern, I would say, for everybody. You can take an AI and treat it like an intern, and you can make it do your repetitive task. You can optimize it more. In the AI space as well, there is constant optimization happening and constant new developments coming in with RAG based AI, LLM based AI, neuro based AI, bionic AIs, and now we have a MCP or a protocol that communicates with different AIs and caters to one solution. So a lot of innovation happening in that space also. So I would say constantly read about new innovations and try to see where your solution fit, how you can adopt those solutions, how you can recreate that for your solutions, or catering to the problems of your users. So AI is again, it's a maybe it has turned into a fad term, but I think it has uh, way more potential than people anticipate right now. So start learning about AI, start creating agents for your current work, see how effective it is. See, and when you worry about whether AI will replace me or not, try to replace yourself with an AI and see what all skills you can stack up before AI tries to replace you. Yeah.
So taking the benefit of AI is absolutely important rather
Yes.
than keeping a fear in the mind that AI will replace some of the jobs. Isn't it?
Yeah, in my opinion, it will not replace your job for, let's say, another 100 years, because there is a lot of things that AI needs to be precise on. Today AI is really confused because data and information has become very easily available, and it is consumed at a pace that is unimaginable today. And if you look for one topic, you will find millions of blogs. How do you know how much of it is true? So
Correct.
if the AI is processing those millions of blogs, and how precise or how curious that AI could become, effectively there is a human in loop that needs to be there. Effectively there is this stakeholder or subject matter experts that needs to nudge AI in the right direction. So you try to be the subject matter expert, and that will help AI achieve what
Right.
we
Right.
anticipate it to.
And you were talking about your participation in Baha, Robocon, and we remember that you participated into International Robocon when you
Yes,
were a student of MIT Academy of Engineering. So
yes,
how did it really help out? Because at that time, getting up into direct international Robocon and then interacting with many
yeah.
people across the globe,
sir.
How exciting was that journey?
I am very glad that you brought this up because it brings a lot of memories. And I uh, I was in MIT Academy of Engineering in 2009 all through 2015. So as you know, that was at that time the college was relatively new. The first engineering batch that graduated from MIT AOE was in 2003, and we were about fourth or fifth batch that happened to graduate from MIT AOE. So the college was relatively new, and still we had these international level opportunities to participate in. So I was effectively very happy. At first I was frustrated, it's so far from my home, I'll have to commute to and fro every day. At first few days I was very frustrated going in the bus and taking those pothole riddled road to my college. But later when I found that this place has immense potential for my personal branding and my growth, then I immediately rolled into it. I can say at during the first year of college, I'm very fond of this person, Arika Kotha ma'am. So she was in charge of all the people in the first year. So all the branches, all the classes, all the sections.
First year coordinator,
She was responsible for all students and their growth in first year. So she had imparted this rule that nobody will participate in big competitions and challenges until you go through all your assignments and projects and everything. So first year of engineering, you are not allowed to participate in any of these competitions. But two people from my class, me and my friend Mrunal, we found our way into Robocon, and we found a place for us in the on the anchoring table and volunteer table.
and you got the permission for that.
Yes, we struggled a bit. We begged Arika ma'am for it, but we finally got a permission for that. So when we got that opportunity, when Mrinal was anchoring the competitions, that was the moment that that rolled us into this extrovert kind of a person who would never give up on an opportunity when they find one, to represent college, to represent their department, and to represent any kind of technology. So there were college events, technical events and cultural events. We never missed one. We used to take a desk and take some materials and go to other colleges to amp up this event, to make basically sales for our uh, competitions that we were going to host. So there were computer department events, there were E&TC events, and I found myself everywhere. So I used to go with my team to colleges as far as in Lonavla or Amravati or Avsari. We used to go to these colleges, we used to set up booth and try to invite many participants. So that was an experience in itself. Then there was this, luckily there was an international Robocon that was hosted in Pune in Balewadi Stadium. And when I say international, there were 18 uh, teams from various countries participating in this Robocon event. And it was aired on this national television called Doordarshan. So it is in collaboration with ABU. And we were part of this college that basically hosts this competition. So there is ultimate chaos when Robocon is coming up. And because from the first year we were associated, third year we were in a position that we can go up to Arika Kotha ma'am and say, ma'am, I want to do something impactful in this Robocon. What can I do for you? And Arika Kotha ma'am would give me a team to take care of. Let's say we are guest coming in from Malaysia and Indonesia. You be with this guest every time, every day of this Robocon event, and you up to receiving them to sending them off to the airport, you will be responsible for these 21 people team, and you will take care of all their needs, and you will guide them to hotels and their venues and their food stations and everything. So that was like a big responsibility for a college student coming in directly from uh, this teacher that they admire. So
that too right in the very first year.
yeah, that this was the third year, the international Robocon.
Okay.
And then when this responsibility came by, and we have that feeling of Atiti Devo Bhava, and like the guest is God. And then we were actually taking them to everywhere possible. Like we took them for a ride in tuk tuk. We took them to Lakshmi Road to shop for their families and friends back home. And we gave them an experience that was very deeply enriching for them, and as well as for us culturally it was very enriching. So that opportunity that came by MIT is unforgettable to truly. We are still friends with some of these people in Malaysia. Some people are creating this tech companies. Some people are going on to live with their families on the countryside. There's this one person that is very fond of horses and takes care of horses every day. So I'm very glad to have had that experience through MIT and make these lifelong friends through these events. They were living, they were being hosted in this hotel, Orchid Hotel, through MIT and ABU. So our friends at Orchid Hotel, so even after catering to their needs throughout the day, at night also we used to go to the hotel and chill with them and talk to them and play games, teach them our language, get them taught through their cultural experiences. So it was a really fun time. And
Exciting
some of
experiences.
people literally cried while saying goodbye. So international Robocon through MIT was a really good experience, and hosting this company was immensely enriching. And you might find some videos on YouTube as well. You can search 2014 ABU Robocon MIT, and I think Team Vietnam was the winner that time. And the theme was also parenthood. It was really interesting theme. So if you like robots, you just watch those videos of competition. It's really nice. Yeah.
Great. One last question in this podcast, which I would like to ask to you, that is the budding engineers who are about to get their degrees, that too would like to make career into core electronics or telecommunication field. What kind of advices you can give to them so that they can make their career into core engineering?
Yeah, as I mentioned, so in a engineers class, in a class of 60 people, there are various people. Some people are musicians, some people are dancers, some people are scientists, some people are really about taking care of all these other peoples. So there are various type of personalities in a class. And I really believe that the 4 years that you go through engineering, you really find what you really want to do after engineering. You find your passion through engineering when when you are really living the engineering life. Interdepartmental relations, friends all through departments. So when you are really living that life, you find your passion. You find your you know what you want to do later in life, somewhere at that point. So when I say there are different people in the class, they are all looking for different things in the world. A musician is looking for a stage to deliver his music, but let's say that musician got into a company and started working on a product, started working on a process, started doing coding and all stuff. Does that mean he has to give up his passion? I would say no, because most companies today have these groups, have a space to help you rekindle with your passion. So I have this friend who worked at Infosys and Tata, and he was really passionate about music and making his own music, just the original music, from right from ideating to production. He was very passionate about that. Then in some cultural events at the company, he started performing. He was invited, let's say, sing a song for us, like that only. So when he started doing that, people were like, okay, can you teach me guitar, can you teach me guitar? And when requests came in, an opportunity, he found himself an opportunity to conduct classes as an extracurricular activity. So he started creating guitar to first 50, then 15, then 150 people inside the Infosys campus, inside their auditorium. So when he started teaching guitar, all through COVID, he was teaching it online. So he found his a place for his passion. at his workplace. So that is just one example of how you can find a place for your passion in your workplace. So even if you are a type of person who just likes to take care of people, you will find a people leader position or people leader track that you can get into. So it's really about exploring your inner self and getting in touch with your own frequencies and finding a place and then resonating it with the industry. So when an engineer or when any kind of an engineer is trying to find a place in a company, I would say don't stop exploring and start grabbing opportunities in your and other teams as well.
Truly inspiring indeed.
Yeah.
There's a big journey, very, very exciting, we have gone through in this podcast. And we at MIT Academy of Engineering really feel proud of our alumni like you who have created footprints in the industry, and that too also in your personal life. So I take this opportunity to express sincere thanks to you from MIT Academy of Engineering. We really wish all the best for you to become a successful person in your life.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.